Hi there, it's Bruce Wallace from Dundee and Victoria Chess Club in Bonnie, Scotland. Now I just posted a video response to Majnu, who is doing a series of videos on the Sicilian Dragon, and the last game was a game by Karpov where he played an early h4 attacking the black's king position. Now this move can be countered by black by playing the move h5. So here's an example of a position where black does attempt to avoid the line played by Karpov involving a pawn sack on h5, and this game is Topalov-Holmes, played in Lyon in '93, and again it's a Yugoslav attack, and I've taken this game from Van der Tak and Nybor's excellent book Tactics in the Chess Opening 1, Sicilian Defence, and it's got a great section on the Sicilian Dragon. So let's get on with the game. Topalov plays the early h4, then black plays knight e5, so the bishop must move, bishop back to b3, and then h5 by black, and this stops the pushing of the h-pawn, and is a common move to create a defensive position on black's king side. But it also has vulnerabilities, and Topalov exploits this excellently in the game. So castles, rook c8, and now Topalov plays the move bishop g5, not bishop h6, threatening to exchange the bishop, and now black plays rook c5, and this is a multi-purpose move. Not only is it centralizing the rook on the file leading to white's king, but also it can defend along this diagonal, along this rank, when pieces are cleared off it. Now instead though, a preferable move here was queen a5 immediately. However, black played rook c5. Now Topalov goes all out to smash up the king's position now with g4, pawn takes, and then f4, attacking the knight, then knight c4, and white now plays queen e2, which attacks the knight twice, so b5 here, supporting the knight. If instead the knight takes the pawn, we've got a really interesting continuation with knight takes b2, king takes b2, bishop takes knight, knight takes c5, and then knight takes e4 check, which leads to unclear play according to the annotations in the book. However, after b5, white continued with his plan of smashing up the king position with f5. Now here, black played queen b6, and it's reckoned not to be the best move. Apparently queen a5 is the strongest continuation. Queen b6, however, wasn't as good. The point about the Sicilian defence, and also the dragon variation in particular, is it leads to really exciting games with wing attacks on both sides of the board. Black attacking on the queen side, where it has development and open files, and white attempting to smash open black's position on the king side. So the games tend to be highly tactical, very scary at times, but also very exciting. However, after queen b6, white now continues with his plan of smashing up black's king side with the move h5. Knight takes h5, then queen takes g4. Now knight takes b2, king takes, then rook takes c3, king takes c3, then queen c5 check, and this will pick up the knight now, king b2, and then bishop d4 check, king moves back to b1. And although black is an exchange down here, he has 6 pawns to 4 and has an attack at the moment, bishop g7, and now Topalov plays the winning move. Quite simple really, says the book, but you would probably find it quite hard to come up with it over the board. Pause the video and see if you can see it. It's the move bishop h6, and this just wins outright. if, for example, bishop takes h6, it's queen takes g6, and here we see the power of the bishop on b3, because the f pawn is pinned and therefore takes no part in the defense of black's king. And then bishop g7 and rook takes h5, and really it's all over and black might as well resign. So after the move, bishop h6, black played queen c3, then bishop takes, queen takes, and then white brought his other rook into the attack, rook to g1, and black resigned here, because it really doesn't matter what he does, he's lost in all variations, because the knight on h5 is pinned here. I'm just wondering if the knight can move to, let's say, f6. It's mate in 3. Queen takes g6, and remember the f pawn is pinned, and if queen takes, it's rook takes queen mate, so that's one variation, so that can't be played. So if we play another random move, it's simply rook takes knight, and white is up a piece, and black is finished. So an interesting game there. In brief overview and summary, it was a Sicilian dragon, and white continued with the plan of advancing the h-pawn. Didn't get the chance to play h5 because black played it first. White merely castled. Black began an attack on the king side and played rook c5 instead of queen a5. Then white continued to smash open the king side pawns. Pawn took, and then f4, a temporary pawn sacrifice by white, knight c4, queen e2, b5, and then continued to attack the pawns around black's king with f5. Then black played inaccurately with queen b6, allowing h5, another pawn sacrifice, knight took pawn, queen took pawn, knight took b2, king took, rook takes c3, and the king being able to come out and capture here. Queen c5 check, king b2, the check, king stepped out, bishop g7, and then the winning move, bishop h6, which won in all variations. So an interesting example there that white can also play energetically against the Sicilian. After queen c3, bishop takes g7, queen takes, rook d to g1, and black was losing a piece and therefore resigned. That even with the move by black of h5, white has still attacking chances if he plays aggressively. But again, white can go wrong. Slight inaccuracies by black can lead to a winning continuation for white. Slight inaccuracies by white can also lead to a win for black. And that's one reason I think why people like to play the Sicilian. It's a risky opening that always leads to exciting play. Well, I hope you enjoyed this, and see you soon.